Welcome everyone to Influential Leadership Tips. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm John Hadley. And Dave, I was reading a column. It's called The Workologist in the New York Times. And one of the columns was talking about a leader of a nonprofit, and he was getting to a place where the politics of the board were weighing on him. Highly politicized organization. He said, it's time to move on. But he was very worried about his reputation and how he would be perceived after he left, because there's always this tendency to blame the messenger. And that made me think of the old joke about the CEO who is on his way out, and he hands the new CEO 3 envelopes. He says, when you get in trouble, open one of the envelopes. So a year down the road, things have been going really well, and then the company runs into a crisis. So the new CEO opens the first envelope, and it says, blame your predecessor. He goes, great. He starts telling everyone about how everything's the fault of the old CEO and what he's doing to fix things. And everyone gets motivated. Things move forward really nicely for about another year. And then gets into another crisis, opens the second envelope. It says, reorganize. Great idea. So he reorganizes, slashes costs, does all these things. Everyone's, the company's doing really well again. And then it gets to another year down the road, runs into another crisis, opens the third envelope, and it says, prepare 3 envelopes. So this guy's concern is very much like that first envelope. Am I going to be the predecessor who gets blamed? And what the Workologist advised was, basically, it was get over yourself. If you focus on just doing the best you can, doing the best for your people, making things really as effective as they can be, you can't avoid that there could be some blaming the predecessor, but if you have a strong reputation, that's going to follow you. And, just don't worry about the rest. And I think about a lot of situations in the past where people have left, or where I've left, where I've moved on to something else. When I left commercial life, I had a long time to prepare, had a severance package, was trying to do the best I could to support the new organization. And on the last day, I actually was the last person to leave the office, because I really wanted to leave all my files, everything in a great place for the people taking over, because I like these people. I'd worked with them for a long time. I didn't want them having to clean up any mess I'd left behind. And it just felt like the right thing to do. So one of the things I've seen over the years is the person who is the most valued is the one who doesn't try to make sure I am so invaluable to this place they can't possibly go on without me. In fact, the person who is focused on how can I make this place work effectively, even if I'm no longer there, is the most valuable person. As the CEO, I want people I can take into an operation and have them turn it around to a place where they're not needed there anymore. The place can go really smoothly without them, because I can then take them and put them somewhere else and have them do the same thing there, continually making things better and more productive. So, when you can get into a mindset where it's not so much about making myself indispensable, but making my unit indispensable, doing things that make sure my unit, my operation, can operate really, really effectively even without me. That's a really powerful place to be. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a couple different themes from what you're saying. I mean, the one is um, when you leave an organization, you want to leave on good terms.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important. And it's challenging, especially if you kind of got a raw deal and that's why you're leaving, which happens.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I can think of people who have left under maybe, maybe they got fired, there was a reorganization, whatever. But the ones who left with their heads held high and were trying to do the best right up to the end, I have a lot of respect for those people, that they were able to put that bad feeling aside and say, yeah, okay, maybe I got a raw deal, but I'm still going to do the best I can and leave the people I've been working with for so long in the best position that they can be.
Yeah, um, there's all kinds of stories we could share around this, but even people that have retired, um, there's been situations like where someone's retired and it's come up from a long time and they stop showing up to work with 6 months left and they're getting paid a huge salary.
Mm-hmm.
And, people start making jokes about it. Oh, kind of phoning it in.
Right.
And it's like, so again, avoid getting bitter, avoid putting the landmines in that make, the whole IT system go down. Play full out till the end, because your reputation goes with you.
Yeah, your reputation is much longer than this little piece that's going on right here. And it's not just when you leave a company either. It could be that you're just moving to a new operation within the same company, and just how you do that, how you make those transitions, has so much to do with your long-term reputation.
Yeah, I think that's a great tip for people, and it's not going to apply to all our viewers right now, but you work long enough, you're going to be in those situations, whether you're leaving voluntarily or asked to leave. How are you going to play that? So that's, I think, what this tip's about, right?
Yep, that's it. So don't really have a homework assignment other than to just give that some thought. Think about, how are you setting up your organization to succeed without you? And look forward to talking to you all next week.
And until then, be influential.